I started to take out these little screws right here. This one here that comes across here, and it's actually wrapped around the water tank. When I started to unscrew it, I heard chink. And if you notice, the tube, the exhaust tube that runs up to the roof, isn't there. And that it's the whole tank. Let me stand back. Is slightly slanted, and if you could really see it, it's slanted inward because the floor is. They even have an extra support board in there, but it's still sopping wet in there, and the tank is on this way down to the ground. I'm so glad I'm getting this thing out of here. Here's the tube that came out, the exhaust valve that came out the top. This thing right here. It just chink fell right out of the roof. So I marked it which side is that, because when I do get another conventional, I want to reuse this, of course. Yesterday I was draining out the water tank, and I kept draining and draining and draining. I'm thinking, hi Sosa. I'm thinking, wow, that's taken a long time for 29 gallons to drain. Well, it turns out that my on-property turnoff valves are old and they don't shut all together. So I was watering my plants quite well yesterday for about a half hour. Well, anyway, so then I called the water company, had them come out. Last night they got here about 5:30. It wasn't too bad. And shut off the water at the main. So I've disconnected here the water, and I'm going to disconnect the rest of the pipes today. The remainder of the water tank is draining, because when I released the water pipe, it must have released a vacuum and let the water drain out a little more. So that's good. Anyway, so we're going to get this water tank out of here today. This here is the hot water coming out of the tank, and have to really take a wrench to this right here to get it undone. I can't hold the camera and do it at the same time, so hold on. Alright, I loosened up the valve up there, and this cap down here that's hooked to that water in is, it came gushing out. I got water everywhere, all over the patio, all over me, and I quick grabbed a hose and stuck it on there, and it's filling up a bucket like crazy right now. I gotta get another bucket. Wow, well, I'm sure glad I had a hose handy, because it could have been a lot wetter, although I'm not really sure how. I've got water from here down all over. My boots are soaked, my shirt is soaked. I filled up a bucket and a quarter of water. Hopefully it's done now. Alright, I'm going to go change clothes, get it into something dry, and be back out. Woo, it's cold. This is the metal tape harness that was holding the water heater in place. So I need to get that out of there right now. Wow, I gotta put a new floor in here. When I get my conventional, right now I don't have to worry about it. Got some replumbing to do in here, and in the process of undoing, getting that cold water line out of there, it snapped off. right here is snapped off. So, but that's okay because the turn valve in here, the turn valve was frozen anyway, so I got to replace it anyway. So that doesn't matter. I'm just going to let this open, let this dry out for sure. Not the lightest thing to lift. Want to give you a quick peek of the inside now with the water heater removed. There's that gas line that I secured off to the side with the metal taping. And I put this bar in and that bar in underneath the water heater yesterday because I saw how badly this floor was soaked and fog going through. It's concave. This is the hot water line. Comes down off the top and going up into the bathroom. And here's the cold line. This is that pipe that snapped off clean right there. But this needs to be taken out anyway because the darn thing won't turn. So I'll have to undo it from here, get a new head. I'm going to get a ball valve this time because if you don't get in here every once in a while and turn these, they lock up. They just suck. I'm getting rid of that, but let this open, let it dry. Got to replumb this one to come and collect hot water from the bread box water heater. And I got to think about doing the hinge. Still haven't got the hinge on the back done yet, so we got to go to the store and get some stuff and get this done. Getting closer and closer. Wetter and wetter, but closer and closer. Got a little occupant underneath the water heater when I picked up besides the roaches. He just was really liking it under there. He's awfully cold. He doesn't want to move. He was underneath the board that was supporting the water heater. Good place to be. Got roaches to eat and warm, and he's going to have to find a new home, unfortunately. I'll let him choose because he knows the best. Here's something that I've run up against one time before. When you try to undo your top fixture, the one underneath starts to come undone also, and you don't want that to come undone. So you coordinate your two wrenches. Nope. I don't have the strength to keep this closed enough. I got to find another monkey jaw. Okay, try again. We're going to let the vice grip, remember we talked about vice grips? We're going to let that do the work for me because my hand isn't strong enough. There we go. Yes! Loosened up. Before I go to the hardware store and forget the piping and everything and get busy doing other stuff, I've marked the pipes, whether they're hot or cold, and whether they're going out or in. Of course, hot is always going out, hopefully, which is the whole idea of this project. But here's hot and arrows on how it's supposed to flow. And then I marked my cold and how it's supposed to flow cold in. Capped off my cold for now because I got to plumb it to get to the water box, to my, my bread box. It's an edge maker.